Hi, my name is Jon Kelsen. I teach at the Drisha Institute, and this week is Parashat Toldot. Parashat Toldot centers heavily around the life of the second patriarch of Isaac and his family, of Rebekah. And I thought that this week we should take a moment to ask ourselves who this character is and what he says to us. Right from the beginning of the Parsha, we are told, Ela Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. These are the Toldot of Yitzchak, the son of Abraham, Isaac, the son of Abraham, Toldot meaning offspring, or perhaps legacy more broadly. Introducing, this is the story of Isaac, and the first words we hear are, Avraham holid et Yitzchak. Abraham begat Isaac, which is, on the face of things, appears to be totally redundant. We're just told, this is the legacy of Isaac, son of Abraham. Obviously, therefore, Abraham begat Isaac. But I think that in that header, an apparent redundancy, lies a deep statement about the character of Isaac himself. In general, transitions are, in their very nature, precarious. There are moments of doubt. There are moments of uncertainty. And Isaac, as the transitionary figure between Abraham and the future, which we will know will be picked up by Jacob and Rachel and Leah, Isaac marks that middle period at the moment where we're unsure if Abraham's legacy will actually continue. And as such, given the fact that he's also born at such a late age to both Sarah and Avraham, you could understand in a deep way why his life would be characterized by precariousness, by doubt, by an uncertainty. Would the legacy continue? What will happen next? And Isaac himself feels that. Indeed, even when he's named, we're told that Sarah and Avraham both laughed, tzchok, right, with the root name of his name, Yitzchak. Now, it's unclear exactly, to what extent the laughter of each character, respectively, was a laughter of hope or a laughter of cynicism. That probably both, frankly, but certainly that tzchok, which is, by the way, a root which appears again and again throughout the Isaac narratives. In his own life, he is mitzachek at Tivka Ishto. It appears with regards to the story of Lot, even when they're not talking about Isaac proper, but the notion of tzchok asali Elohim, the notion of this moment of laughter, is just predominant throughout the narrative. And the reason for that is quite simple, because we laugh when we encounter the unexpected. And then jokes often actually have three moments. So the first two to establish a pattern, and then there's that third moment in the joke where you break the pattern. Right? And that's because our reaction to that unexpected sense of unexpectancy is laughter. Right? And the laughter can be laughter of hope, and that can be a laughter of fear and cynicism, or it can be both simultaneously, but it is laughter. And so Isaac, Yitzchak, is the figure who personifies that human experience of standing in the middle, standing at the moments of transition. And so from the very get-go of the Parsha, we are told of one strategy which Isaac adopted in dealing with that sense of precariousness. And that strategy is Avraham holid et Yitzchak. The sense of precariousness, the sense of uncertainty. What will I be? Where am I going? Well, for Isaac was answered heavily by, where do I come from? For Isaac, the answer to the question of what will I do with my life was, what is my legacy? What is my tradition? In that sense, we see throughout the Isaac narratives a very, very clear repetition of steps in his father's and mother's story. Whether it be his descent to his travels to Gerar, paralleling his parents' descent to Egypt, whether it be rebuilding the wells of his father. It's very clear that Yitzchak is a figure who responds to a sense of uncertainty by deciding, I'm going to be the link in the chain. I'm going to be the continuation of my parents' legacy. And that's why the Torah tells us that Isaac's primary legacy was Ela Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. Here's his legacy, Avraham holid et Yitzchak. Isaac is a continuation of Abraham's legacy. Isaac decides, I'm going to latch on to my past, to something far greater than myself, to a story that began before I was born and will almost certainly continue after I'm long gone. and my greatness, if it will be expressed in that role. And so the question I would ask you all this Shabbat to discuss at your Shabbat tables, wherever you find yourself when you're listening to this, is simply the following. We all have those moments of precariousness. We all have those moments of uncertainty. We all have those questions of where am I going? And those questions hit us on the political level, certainly on the national, economic, social levels, as well as on the individual levels, those moments of transition. And we really have a choice in those moments. They can be moments where we feel lost, where we despair, where we feel pain, where we give into the draw of cynicism. But I think what Isaac challenges us to do is to ask, can those be moments of opportunity? To sort of ask myself, where do I come from? Where does my story actually begin? On my birthday or far before? And thus, where will my legacy end? When I leave this world or far and long after? So the question I ask you on the Shabbat is, where does your story begin and where are you going? Shabbat Shalom.